Hi, my name's Charlie. I run a video production company, and the last 2 months I spent basically trying to do all the creative things that I said I was going to do now that I can't earn any money. More or less, you know, go full Bo Burnham and try to use my time well, at least. And I would say the first 2 weeks, excellent. Like, I wasn't depressed about it. I was actually quite excited because it was like living through a unique moment, and I was inspired by it. And I wrote a short film based around it. Took a while. Shot parts of it. Shot the parts that are like time sensitive. Was just like, knew it was a unique moment, so I didn't really care about the usual kind of like social anxiety of having a camera in public in China as a foreigner. And filming, like, I filmed all my tests. I filmed, I didn't try to get into people's faces. I tried to film just me because I could only film myself for a story like this. But I still, I found that it was kind of a good motivator initially, and then existential dread set in, and some things fell by the wayside, started other things, and then got that natural, I imagine you can probably relate to it, but that ebb and flow of, I can do these things, and then I don't feel like doing anything. I just want to drink.
So how do you feel now?
Honestly, the same. Probably, because like everyone's so excited that things are opening up, and I do get that, but it's not going to be exactly the same. It's that meme went around of like the prison. It's like I'm out, and I don't think it's going to be quite that bad as it was the last 2 weeks when people could come out. But like my compound, for example, like they just changed the rule suddenly, saying that the days that we do a test, we can't go out at that same day, and all of my friends were out, and every other compound that I knew of in this same district. It's just arbitrary rules and arbitrary enforcement, I guess. Like, just that kind of like cynicism is still there. And so I understand why people are leaving. I understand why there's a large exodus of people, because they finally realized that where they were. Whoa, I'm on rollerblades, by the way. I'm not drunk. Luckily, a lot of my closer friends are still staying, but I see the WeChat groups with like multiple WeChat groups with 500 plus people all clamoring to get in to get out. And so I know a lot of people who are leaving, but I guess a lot of my friends are similar to me, where either they already started, they have an entire life here, and it's not so easy. That's like a lot of people were saying, like, why don't you just leave? Well, one, like flights are like $10,000, so that's a big reason, and you can't just like exit. So I guess for the people who initially came, like their big dream was to come in like 2019 and 2020, and then they had to face 2 years like that. I can understand, because their jet set lifestyle of traveling around Asia basically was impossible. So I do understand those people leaving, but if you've been here for a lot longer, it's not so easy to just disappear. And also, I find it very hard to find a city as good as Shanghai, even with, not with the last 2 months, but let's pretend everything after is significantly better, or goes to 80% of what Shanghai was. Still better than most other cities.
How was it during the lockdown? Obviously, you couldn't do many things that you're used to. Many of the creature comforts you couldn't engage in. Yeah, the biggest hurdle, the biggest hurdle is just like the tedium of cooking every day, and the tedium of realizing like just how much of your day has to be spent around maintaining your slovenly lifestyle, more or less. And like, I only have like, now that we're out soon, I guess tomorrow, I have like what, 2 weeks to use the lockdown as an excuse for looking homeless. So I don't have many more chances to have all that free time to get something done. But it's hard because you're just spending a lot of time thinking about what you should be doing, and you're being idealistic about what you need to do, and then you're also realizing, oh yeah, I need to eat, and I also need to like deal with all the other aspects and the mundanity of being inside constantly. It's just like, I mean, I guess it's fine for some people, and as someone who spends a lot of time on the computer editing and stuff, that part wasn't the difficulty. It's just like there's no separation between your life. It's just wake up, go to the computer, sit there for a bit more, think about food maybe 3 hours after you're already hungry, and then go back to the computer. So, you know, I saw a lot of those videos of like the Disney propaganda of people flying their drone up and everyone's in their costumes and they're all like, wow, fuck yeah, life's wonderful. And I know that a lot of people found it like inspiring. Oh, that's cute. But I also know a lot of people who are just kind of annoyed by it, and more power to the people that were very self-motivated. But that's the other thing about this lockdown. It's not everyone handles it the same way. And like, it's not just like, you know, the pseudoscience like Myers-Briggs extroverted introverted person. It's not that simple. It's just a lot of people really do need to go out and talk to other people, even if it's for just an hour, so they can remember that they hate people and then go back inside. Like, they still need that. They need that reminder. So it was a good opportunity just to see how different people handled it, and how they either make the best of it or like the memes. The memes were very good. I would say that's the best part. I had enough food to eat, but you know, as a privileged Shanghai expat, I couldn't be picky about what I did eat actually. So a lot of times, like, people would get the government package, and you know, most of the time people just compared, like, oh, you know, Shuhui district got this, or Changning district got this, and there's a lot of like that stereotype basically. But I knew a lot of people who lived in like Chongming and places that aren't downtown, and you know, they didn't get a lot of food, and they really were like, you're restricted based around like who is in the management, who makes the decision, who actually gives a shit that you're there basically. And for some places, like, it's, you know, it's a large city, so there's cracks of, you know, people where they didn't get enough. And I knew a few people like that, but personally I got enough. I got not as many government packages as I think parts of Changni or Minhang got, those bastards. But I had enough food. It's just, you know, I was one of the people that had like 100 eggs and had to figure out how to cook eggs in a million different ways, and I had a lot of cabbage, a lot of like, and a few random other vegetables I rarely eat that I just, you know, tried to be positive about it and cook it in a try a new dish or cook something new. But then that kind of wears you down, because you're just like, you're just thinking about the mundanity of getting enough sustenance so that you have energy to do something the next day basically. So I had enough food to eat. It wasn't that bad.
What are you looking forward to now that you're out?
Earning money mostly, I guess. Sustaining my ability to live here, paying rent. Just the normal struggles of everyday life that are not compounded by restrictions and saving the lives of people.
Can you tell me a little bit about how your income, your business has changed, has been impacted?
So I run a video production company, and most of what I do is me pitching to the client. I film it, I do everything basically. That's how I can earn the most money. at home I can really only do editing things, or if I had an OnlyFans, then maybe I could have made some money, but unfortunately. So I only had I did get one job, but it was a friend's company, and it was an NFT marketing project, and which slowly made me hate that too, which wasn't hard. It was, oh yeah, that's the other thing. The cost of when there was things to be delivered, there's all these predatory expat delivery services who are just trying to give you 5 kg of cheese for 1,000 RMB, or this overpriced survival package to get you through, and it was just like a piece of bread, some shitty no-name brand, and we were supposed to just lap it up like desperate, it was pathetic, and people, I noticed a lot of expats who were just like, don't complain, it's not so bad, it's better than some people have, which is true, but it's also predatory, and these people are the people who probably have a salary, and they're earning money every day. So for people who are operating their own businesses, they can't really do anything, and you're paying rent. So I feel for all the businesses that are likely going to close because of it.
How do you feel about the next 6 months? Do you think your income is going to bounce back, or general?
I think my income will probably not bounce back, just because I already noticed a slowdown in projects, and obviously it could be personal, but there's just fewer smaller businesses that are doing mid-range budgets for production. That means that they would want to create a campaign essentially and reach an audience in China or abroad. And I've just noticed a large downturn since the beginning of the year. So now that we're back, it's not like suddenly everyone's like, oh, I need video content. I don't see that coming back very quickly.
You mentioned earlier that a lot of people have maybe mistaken understandings of the lockdown.
Yeah, I mean, people see headlines, and it's very easy to see the negative headlines for China, because that's been reported for the last 15 years. I've been in China for quite a long time, and I remember when the news stories about China were mostly just wacky news stories, just oh, this weird thing happened in Hebei province. And now I find it to be more more rhetoric, more it's wacky news stories, but then it has this shift of the whole country is about to explode, or there's going to be an uprising, and it's just if you just spend any amount of time here, you'd realize this isn't the incident that's going to cause it. I did see a lot of people disillusioned with government and how people handle it, but like a lot of things just get blamed to another party, sometimes foreigners, and a lot of the headlines, people read just the headlines, really. So I think a lot of things are written with that in mind. Even if they get the click, most people just want to see the headline that seems interesting or fits their worldview, because honestly, it takes a lot of effort to understand, or even try to understand, a complex place like China, let alone trying to use your learned experiences from your area and then apply that to Shanghai. It's not that easy. So I find it to be disingenuous, and on both sides.
Well, Charles, I'm very, very thankful that we were able to make this happen. And I hope you're gonna have actually really good in the next 6 months.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't want to begrudge people who are excited about going out and doing things. I'm excited to be out too, but it's not going to be the same. I really don't think it's going to be, one-to-one the same. You can just pay attention to the public news stories. Read the original version that gets posted, not the random WeChat translated version that someone sends a week later. Read the original version and It's not going to be the same.
Thank you very much.
Oh, then I just eat it at the end.
That would suck.
If that's good comedy, I'll do it. Whoa!